Hey guys, I'm in North Little Rock, Arkansas, standing in front of the USS Razorback, one of the longest serving submarines in history. She was launched in 1943, commissioned in 1944, and fought in the final years of World War II. So this is the main control room. Hello.
Hello.
How was the descent?
Made it done before you.
You did. So in past years, I have been all over the submarine, including this conning tower, which I don't really know that I want to go up today, but so this is the control room. This is where everything would be controlled from on the ship. So officers and seamen would have spent a significant amount of time in this room. So I was going to show y'all around the sub, and you can see just the amount of dials and levers and stuff that's here. The complexity of this is just unbelievable, especially for something that's, World War II vintage or era. We'll wander around and check out some of the other little hidden nooks and crannies of the sub here shortly. Let me just sort of walk you through really fast. This is pretty interesting. So this is their garbage disposal unit, and it's a pressurized outlet. So any garbage would get dumped in this, and it would immediately repressurize after it was sent outside the sub. Pretty interesting design. It's like a airlock, essentially. This is the radio room. You can see some of the radio equipment that was used. Now we're entering the galley and kitchen area. For some reason I've always liked this particular spot on the ship. So down below, under that grate, is where canned goods and food would have been stored. There's a refrigerated room that's down there, and this was the mess hall, basically. This is the crew mess tables. There's also an officers area that we'll get to in a little bit, but you can sort of see everything that's here. That's pretty neat. So that's where your food would come out of.
I think I might need some of the china.
Some of the china? Does it say Razorback?
I think so.
Oh, that's cool.
Does it? Well, the glasses on.
Department of the Navy. I've gone through this way some of the times that I've been on the sub. I'm not sure why it's closed off today, but that is the galley entrance. This is an interesting area too. So this is the bunk, or the bunks area, sleeping quarters for the sub. Last time I was here, which was years ago, we actually captured a really interesting EVP in this area. So we will definitely have to come back and do that while we're here. But you can see the sub actually does, from time to time, they do overnight stays as well. So I believe tonight, actually, they have a group of Boy Scouts that are coming and spending the night. So they actually can stay on the submarine overnight and stay in these bunks, which is pretty neat. There's a tour group that's coming, so we're going to hold off for just a minute. I don't want to interrupt their group. We'll go back to the the galley here and sit for a second. Did you check out the kitchen? I mean, it's...
I think it's hilarious that, I mean, in true cooking fashion, it's so tight on space, yet they prioritize the giant mixer.
It's so efficient too. I mean, look how everything is just so organized. I mean, I'm guessing that's gas, right? Would that be gas grills or? Imagine the food that was cooked here. You know, and that's pretty interesting. In talking to some of the folks that have actually served on board the Razorback, they actually dispelled a myth that was one that I was not aware of. You know, when you think about crews that are serving on submarines or you know, even destroyers and ships like that, you think that they would generally eat like crappy cafeteria type food. That's not the case. And talking to some of the folks that actually served on this sub that are still living, they had actually mentioned that they ate very well, and several times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They would also have the ability to have snacks throughout their work shift. But they would actually have like steak and hamburger and you know, food that you wouldn't normally probably associate with being on board a service ship such as this. They ate very well. Chili was apparently a very popular dish on board submarines, probably for, I don't know, a variety of reasons, ease of preparation, but for whatever reason, the seamen loved chili days. I'm thankful that they have an air conditioner unit that's routed down here today. I don't believe that would have been probably original to the sub. I could be wrong, but I don't think that they actually had air conditioning on the submarine itself. I think there was, from what I understand, there was forced air, there was, you know, recirculated, cleansed air, but I don't know that they actually had air conditioning proper like we have right now. Hello? Hello? Hi? Can you tell us what your name is? I couldn't really hear that. I wish I wasn't talking. That's the same voice. We're here as friends. We're not here to hurt you. We're Americans.
Better part of the land.
We've come to check out the Razorback to pay our respects, to investigate the history. Are you trying to tell us something? What are you trying to say? Are you here in the torpedo room with us? Maybe. Is that what it said?
So,
Do you wanna walk to the front part of the ship and talk to us there?
show us around.
Sure. Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna follow you.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna walk toward the front then. Okay. You feel free to tell me where you were stationed on the sub, what your job was. I'm going to continue walking forward. I don't know. We're in the maneuvering section now. Is this where you were assigned? I'm gonna keep going. Good morning. Good morning to you too. It's actually afternoon, but good morning. Is it maybe morning where you are? Sure. Okay. Okay. Well, we're in the engine room, the aft engine room. Was this your area? Were you assigned right here? Is this where you worked? Did you work in this engine room?
Yeah.
So I'm laying in one of the bunk beds that the general crew would have slept in. It is definitely cramped in here. From what I understand, the sailors would have a certain number of hour shifts, then they would retire back to their bunks for 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever of sleep before their next duty. Let's try to do an EVP session while I'm here in one of the bunks. Hello, is there anyone here with me? Are any of the sailors that are in the bunk area that are still here wanting to speak to me? It's not completely uncomfortable in here. It's just really tight. What do you think about these beds? Can you tell me where you are? Do you know what year it is? Whose bunk am I sleeping in? Okay.
Hello, is there anyone here with me? Are any of the sailors that are in the bunk area that are still here wanting to speak to me?
Oh.
It's not completely uncomfortable in here. It's just really tight. What do you think about these beds?
There's...
Can you tell me where you are? Do you know what year it is? Whose bunk am I sleeping in?
Okay, so that actually sounds like there were responses to almost every one of my questions. Let me play that one back.
Hello, is there anyone here with me? Are any of the sailors that are in the bunk area that are still here wanting to speak to me?
There's some whispers.
It's not completely uncomfortable in here. It's just really tight. What do you think about these beds?
Definitely.
Can you tell me where you are? Do you know what year it is? Whose bunk am I sleeping in?
So there's definitely some responses there. I will for sure have to download those and listen. Very low volume, very quiet responses, but there's definitely some things there. So maybe those are some of those sailors that are trying to communicate. I would be curious. I'm going to write down the number of the bunk that I'm in and see if maybe there was a record kept of who this was assigned to. So that was an interesting little EVP session that I did here in the bunk area of the USS Razorback. Let me know if you heard anything. Oh, that's cool. They actually have it turned on. So this area of the submarine would have been considered classified or top secret. So this is where all of the radar essentially was on the boat. So a lot of the technologies of the time would have been really kind of state of the art. And you can see that's actually really sweet. I'm going to take a picture of that too. I've actually never seen the vacuum tubes turned on like that. It's amazing to me that they're still functional. This would have been the radar operator's area. So you can see the plotting scope, the control indicators. This is the sonar listening system or sonar listening set. So this area down here, there would have been individuals that were assigned to this area that had special clearance to be down here. General seamen were not permitted, or sailors were not permitted down in this area for probably fairly obvious reasons. Pretty neat. Yeah, that's cool. Pretty neat that it's actually running right now. I'm actually not sure why it's turned on, to be honest. I've never seen that stuff running. And all the year, actually these are running too. You can definitely feel the heat from the vacuum tubes, but of all the years that I've been coming here, I have never seen the radio and sonar stuff actually turned on the ship. That just blows me away that it's functional. Absolutely incredible. Definitely shows you that they don't make things like they used to. The USS Razorback is more than just steel. She's a survivor of war, a Cold War sentinel, and now a floating memorial to generations of submariners. Whether we captured anything tonight or not, just standing here gives you a sense of the lives that were lived and lost in these narrow passageways. Thanks for coming along on this short but really cool investigation.